Good morning, folks, and welcome back to Ed's Garage. So today I want to talk about a very exciting adventure that I have coming up with my wife. We are going to travel across the country with an electric vehicle. The Ioniq 6 is what we're planning on doing it with. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the Ioniq 6 yet. I've got to wait for that to come in. So basically, the first few videos in this series will be gathering all of the necessary supplies, the trailer, which is what this video is about, and getting the trailer prepped and everything for this trip. So across Canada, there are charging stations pretty much everywhere we need them to be. They're separated by no more than about 185 kilometers. That's sort of the largest stretch between a charger and a charger. Now we're talking quick chargers here, 50 kilowatts or faster. Now the Ioniq 6 can charge at about 300 kilowatts, 285 kilowatts roughly maximum. So that'll do a 10 to 80% charge in about 18 minutes, under ideal situation, under ideal conditions. So what we're going to do is we're going to go pick up the trailer. I had to redo this introduction because the introduction that I had originally to this video, well, you'll see coming up, I am very, very tired. We left early in the morning, about 6:30 in the morning or something like that. And oh look, we got an Ioniq 5 sitting right here actually. This is a 5. 6, of course, is going to look quite a bit different. It's going to look like this. So when this vehicle comes, we're going to do this. So anyway, early morning, we left. The weather was not great. It was a terrible day to pick up a trailer. But the trailer, the idea behind this is that we're going to soup up the trailer and kind of get it prepped for EV traveling. It's a very, very lightweight trailer, which you'll see coming up in the video. So let's get started. So here's the plan, guys. Because nobody else has really done it yet, and because there seems to be a lot of misinformation out there about EVs and towing, we've decided that we're going to pull a small travel trailer all the way across Canada and then all the way across the United States. This is going to be somewhere around 10,000 kilometers of towing. It's going to take us a long time, and we're going to do it with an EV. Now, we haven't actually got the vehicle yet, but today we're actually going to go get the trailer. The trailer is an Aerolite made by a company called Westland RV here in British Columbia, actually. And as you can see, it's dark out because it's quite early in the morning. It's 6:30 a.m. right now. And apparently the road leading up there is very snowy and very dangerous. It was closed a little while ago. Seems to be open again. But yeah, looks like we're in for a bit of an adventure. We're going to be taking the Hummer, which I don't know if you can see, it's just parked right there. It's quite good in the snow. Just about to grab my chains, bring those with me. We're in for about a 4-hour drive, not including any slowdowns, thanks to snow and slush and sleet. So, to the start of an adventure. Now, this is gonna be a episodic series. This is the very, very first video, and these videos are going to be going on for basically the next, well, close to a year. It's going to depend on when the actual Ioniq 6 arrives, but it'll be the first major trip we do with the vehicle. The episodes leading up to the arrival of the Ioniq 6 will be basically prepping the trailer as an electric vehicle towing trailer. So the idea is that the trailer will actually be a support vehicle for the electric vehicle. There's going to be batteries in it, solar panels on it, and even if we need to stand somewhere for a week and charge, that should be possible with this trailer once it's all said and done. So don't forget to like and subscribe and stick to the series to see what happens in our adventures and misadventures. But yeah, let's get started. All right, we're about halfway there. We've driven for a couple hours. We got a couple hours to go still. As you can see, we're up in the mountains, and yeah, it's actually snowing pretty decently. Not as much here as it was earlier, but the roads are pretty nasty. We got to take that trailer all the way back still. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll see how it goes. So right now we've basically we've gone to Merritt. I went to the bank, picked up the check, and we're somewhere in between Merritt and Kamloops now. So yeah, this is pretty much the summit. We're at the brake check stop, getting in the way of all the truckers. Sorry, truckers. but the wife had to go to the washroom, so here we are. So yeah, next stop. All right, and here it is in my garage. So I'm going to give you a quick tour and show you basically what we got, what we're going to be traveling with, and give you a couple of hints as to what we're going to do to kind of customize this trailer and make it more conducive to electric vehicle traveling and whatnot. So it's been in my garage for a few days now, drying off. I was going to make a video when we got back, and I was just so tired. It was about 9 hours total of driving to go pick it up, get it insured and everything. And the weather was not great, although it was a little better on the way back. But anyway, let's have a look at this. So this is a 2021 Aero Light by Westland RV. And it doesn't have a lot of kilometers on it, probably only around 10,000 kilometers or so. The previous owner said about 5,000, so I'm guessing that was probably a pretty conservative estimate. But let's have a look around the trailer. So first off, you'll notice it does have the little rear jacks to kind of stabilize the back end when it's placed on its own. And along the front here, we'll start at the front really and kind of work our way around. But you can see we've got the battery box, 1 7/8 inch ball there. It's got the little jack on a wheel, so you can pretty easily wheel this thing around. It really doesn't weigh very much, less than 1,000 pounds dry, so it's really easy to move around. Got a little bit of diamond plate on the front here to protect it. So this is basically the first thing I'll tell you. So this is where we're going to see a whole bunch of solar panels. So I want to basically load this up with solar panels all the way up onto the roof as well. Get as much on there as I can fit. So yeah, that's where what's going to be there. The battery box is kind of redundant because inside here I want to get a few kilowatts of battery power. I'm going to go with lithium iron phosphate batteries. And I want to have either 1 or 2 in here, probably looking at around 3 kilowatts of energy. And I'm expecting that 3 kilowatts of energy will be enough to get me about roughly 15 kilometers of driving, pulling the trailer in case, we come up a bit short. So it'll be a nice little backup. And of course, it'll be constantly being, getting charged by the solar panels as well. So we got, so this is lockable storage. There's a lock on this side and then a handle on this side. All the lights, by the way, are already LED, except for this one, which is kind of funny. So our first upgrade, we've already actually put an LED bulb in there. But I figured, you know what, if we're gonna go all electric on everything, we're gonna try to get as many LEDs in here as we can. So it's got an outdoor shower. And the funny thing is with this, it actually does have a hot water and a cold water tap, although this trailer does not have any hot water heater. So that is the one place that we're going to have to use gas. Unfortunately, heating water is incredibly difficult. To give you an idea, a half an hour shower is about the equivalent of driving somewhere around 50 kilometers with your typical EV. So the amount of energy that's required to just take a shower can actually get you down the road quite far. Showers are incredibly energy inefficient. So until there's an easier, more efficient way to heat up water with electricity, just going to have to use gas for that. You can get electric showers, electric water heaters. It is totally possible to do, but in order to do so, you're essentially using about 6,000 watts of electricity at any given time. With a 3 kilowatt battery, that's a half an hour of use, and then you've completely drained that battery, and that's just not really conducive to proper usage. So we're not going to go that route. We're just going to go gas. I'm going to basically replace this with a propane tank, as the batteries, of course, are going to go inside anyway. All right, so looking further back, you can see we've got the wheel wells here, so a little bit of wear on the front of the well there. And actually, that's a good indicator of, unfortunately, some efficiency loss there, the fact that sticks out. Now, this trailer by itself is not very wide, actually. It's quite narrow. It's only about 4 feet wide. So the wheels stick out about another, 8 inches or so. So the amount of air that's actually going to be passing by here, hopefully, you know, there's going to be a lot blocked by the vehicle itself. And then the fact that those stick out a bunch, hopefully that doesn't matter too much. I did have some thoughts as to ways that I could make this more streamlined, and unfortunately none of them are going to work. So the only thing I could think of is maybe smaller wheels and tires to just get the whole trailer down lower. So the more of the trailer that's actually behind the car and the less of it that sticks out may actually make things more efficient. So I might do that. I might actually lower this down, and that may actually help. So right here we got our first sort of storage compartment. You can see there's quite a bit of space there. There's a 44-liter tank of water over there. And then basically the bed and or benches are kind of above here, which is why all of this extra storage space underneath, accessible from both sides as well, which is kind of cool. That is lockable as well. And then we have our city water connection right here. So this is where we can fill up the tank and we can also connect the city water. Right now I've kind of got everything disconnected. This is our drain for the sink. So basically the drain the sink drain just kind of drains outside. So obviously you don't want to be doing anything in the sink that can be harmful to the environment and whatnot. This light has a switch right here, but the main switch to turn that on and off is inside, which I'll show you in a bit. We have a nice little easy grab handle to get in, padlock and separate lock for the door. On the back side here, you can see we've got a couple of LED tail lights, and then we've got some marker lights up along the top. Those are also LED as well. And then a nice big steel bumper, solid bumper. So if I do want to put any accessories on the back here, maybe a bicycle rack or something like that, I can just bolt it to that. Now, this is very, very unique. You'll notice I've actually got a black water valve here and a black water release or drain. That's because this little tiny trailer actually has a toilet in it. So very, very unusual that you can, get something this size with a toilet, but I'll show you that in a moment. We also have our high voltage or high wattage connection here. So up to 15 amp service, 110, 125 volts. It comes with a very, very hefty cable for that amount. And the previous owner did give me this little adapter so I can plug it into a regular 110 volt outlet. Ordinarily that uses I think it's a 1050, I think it is. And our sewer hose storage is right there. That kind of wraps around inside here. You can see the pipe there. That's just where the sewer hose hangs out. We got the emergency exit right here. It says exit backwards. This window actually pops out in an emergency if you need to get out. And let's have a look at the roof. All right, so you can see we've got two vents. So this main vent is a very, very high flow fan. And then that one's actually for the bathroom. And there's actually lots of space up here for more solar panels. At least that is the plan. You can see that the sort of connection here between these two parts, it's all very, very well sealed up. This is actually a soft seal. I can actually put my fingernail in there, so that should be quite durable and last very long. All right, so let's jump inside the trailer and see what we've got. So the first thing on the trailer door itself, you do have a nice screen door here that actually separates and closes on its own. That's kind of nice. And there is the switch for the exterior light. You can see what that looks like there. So that's turned on now. All right, let's turn on one of the interior lights here and get some light. So first things first, you'll notice we've got basically a little bit of space right here. Now this vehicle, or this trailer rather, does not come with a cooktop. By the way, guys, it's 5'8". So you can see I can't quite stand up in here. I have to crouch a little bit. But yeah, there is no cooktop in this trailer. It's basically just a sink with a little bit of storage underneath, some storage up here. And then, as I mentioned, it has the bathroom or toilet, which is nice. So that is an actual proper flushing toilet. It's not a cartridge style or anything like that, but it's a little bit higher off the main ground here because the tank is underneath. So you can't really stand up in here. You kind of just sit and that's it. We have the fan there. So that's good. And then, yeah, switch here for the water pump. And again, same thing, hot and cold. However, it's all just cold. And the funny thing is they actually connected the two together. So either one you turn on just does the same thing. It's just cold air. So this is where, obviously, the bed goes. Now, the bed is, I would say it's fine for anybody that's about 5'8" or less. But for anyone who's about 6 feet, it's a bit short. And the reason being is because of the fact that the front of the trailer is angled. You can't really stick your head down in the corner there. So for me, my feet are going to stick out about to here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make a platform, obviously, that goes across here. Now, normally the table would be here. The table is like this here. So this is the removable table. Comes out quite easily, and it has little folding legs. And normally that just sits right on this ledge here and this ledge here. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave that out because I don't think we're going to be using the table at all. So the idea, the plan anyway, is that we're going to have a base here that can fold up, and we'll just tuck it over there when we're not using it. The other thing I was considering is that making some sort of means for that piece to come out and then just kind of clip in as a table right here. Now I know I could just take the table, but quite frankly, that table is quite heavy, and it's a little bit cumbersome. So considering there's only two of us, you know, I'm just going to make something else that's easier and takes up less space and weighs less, because the more weight we can pull out of this trailer, the better. It's already a very small trailer, and it just barely suits, the needs of day-to-day life. But that's exactly what we want, because we don't want the extra weight that a typical trailer would cost us. So I think this will do just fine. So the next thing we're going to do here, so this space, I think this is actually going to be perfect for a cooktop because this vehicle does not have a cooktop. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a fold-out counter. So it's going to basically start here using that black hinge. It's going to drop to about here, and it's going to fold out to about here. And we'll still be able to walk by, and we'll still be able to open up the bathroom door to about that position there. So when it folds open, it'll open to about this length here, and it should be just enough for our cooktop. And the cooktop will be induction. I've already purchased it, and I'll show you that in a moment. Now, down here on the bottom right, you can see we've got our breaker box. So currently there are 2 breakers in there and a bunch of fuses. So these fuses, I don't know if you could see them. Let me just turn on the light here. There we go. So a little bit of fuse box for the 12-volt bus bar, and then fuses for the 12-volt charging system. So those will probably not get used. I think I'm probably going to, once everything's kind of said and done, I don't think any of that stuff's going to get used, to be honest, because once I have the solar system kind of hooked up, this is not really going to be compatible. So you can see the output is 13.6 volts, which is actually not really enough to properly charge lithium iron phosphate batteries. So that is the breaker box. And then we have a nice little cupboard here. So this is kind of the closet. You can hang stuff and, folded stuff and whatnot. And then another little drawer right here with some stuff in it. A little charger for something. I'm not even sure what that's for. That just came with it. This is pretty nice though. All of the windows have these really easy to use shades. They open and close really easily. As you can see, there's one on this side here as well, and then one on that window. And a little bit of wasted space right here. Your head never really enters this area, so it would have been nice to see this kind of pulled through. Of course, the light and the fire extinguisher or fire alarm are kind of in the way, but I'm going to figure something out for this because I want to be able to use this space. Same goes for this side. There's a lot of extra space that's just not being used. Even in the bathroom, the plan is to put some shelving in here as well. Top right corner, probably have a toilet paper roll holder, another toilet paper roll holder a little bit lower, and then I can even put a little shelf back there as well, and probably put a little shelf right here. I think there's a lot of extra space that we can make use of. As a matter of fact, even right here, I'm thinking of putting something. This actual cupboard may go away. I may actually just put a microwave in its place or use this space for a small microwave. That's another possibility. And the cool thing is when we have the battery system all hooked up and the solar panels and all that stuff. The idea is we're going to get a nice big powerful 3000 watt inverter, and I can actually run a microwave off of that 3000 watt inverter quite easily. All right, so speaking of cooking, so this is the induction cooktop that we purchased. Just got it at the new largest in BC Canadian Tire. Pretty nice store actually. So this is an induction cooktop. Basically, it uses magnetic resonance, I think it's called, to heat up the bottom of a pan. So when you turn this on, you can actually have this on full blast, and it stays cold up until you put a ferrous material on there, which is pretty cool, like a metal that a magnet will stick to. It has adjustable temperatures here. Let me just plug it in actually so you can see what it does. It's pretty cool. And the only thing I noticed with this, I've got it plugged in now, is that the buttons are a little bit weird. See, it just, for some reason, okay, that one's on. There we go. So they're kind of a capacitive touch, but I think you just have to like, you gotta hit them just right. It's bizarre. Anyway, so you hit the power. As soon as you see the green light or the red lights, you can then, there we go. So it's saying that because there's nothing on, there's no pan on it right now. So this is actually completely cool. There is zero heat coming off of this right now. All right, we're going to turn that off. Yeah, and then it's got these little timer things as well. I haven't really figured out how to use that yet. All right, so that is pretty much it for today's video. A couple of specifications though before I go. So the trailer itself weighs 890 pounds dry. The battery that I'm getting weighs 66 pounds, and that's for a 300 amp hour 12 volt battery. Now, of course, I'm going to need the 3000 watt inverter. That's going to weigh probably about 20 pounds. When we fill up that 44 liters of water, you know, obviously that's got some weight to it. The black water tank is going to fill up and have some weight to it. You know, all said and done, I think there's a very good possibility that we're going to probably be adding somewhere around, I'd say about 600 pounds with us included of weight into the trailer. Now, pulling that with the Ioniq 6 EV, which is the plan, that should be no problem. The towing rating, the towing capacity on the Ioniq 5 in North America is 2,000 pounds. However, in other markets, I believe it's 3,500 pounds. So it pulls it no problem. The reason our tow rating is a little bit lower in North America is because of the fact that we have lots of hills, right? So the braking power, the braking efficiency of the brake pads and rotors on those vehicles is not really conducive to that type of weight, especially going downhill. So hence why our laws are a little bit more strict on towing capacity. So this should come under that 2,000 pound total when all is said and done. So yeah, should be pretty cool. Anyway, that's going to be it for this first episode of this series. Still haven't really figured out a name for the series. I don't know, maybe we'll call it C to C or P to A, Pacific to Atlantic and back or something. I don't know. If you have any suggestions for what to call this series, please go ahead and comment below. If you like this quick little video, don't forget to hit like. And if you want to see more of these videos, hit subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified of future videos. This type of video, this series will be kind of intermixed with my typical car reviews. So keep that in mind. But I'll try to make somewhat of a consistent thumbnail so you can kind of weed them out quicker. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.